Cool. Let me quickly check that everything is up and running. We've hit the start broadcast button. It appears to be live. Audio seems to be good. Let me check the comments. Okay. And we have got 10 seconds left. Let's quickly just double check. Banners. Let's put this one up. And I think we are good to go. So, welcome everyone to another episode of Bean Streaming. This is a show where myself and Darko, let me just quickly take this away, just so we don't confuse, that is not Darko, for those wondering, stream and we build things. Specifically, the intention of the show is we take a look at building, let's say, a specific setup. Like at the moment, we are doing a production-ready ECS cluster, and we are doing it with the AWS CDK. And specifically, this focuses on learning. So what we do here is that we start building it from scratch, and as we go along, we run into issues like any normal developer will. So we take a look at the documentation, we go look for samples, we go look for solutions on Stack Overflow, etc. And then at the end of the day, we try and build things out. So hopefully that helps others to learn a little bit how to do specific things. And for today, Darko is unfortunately caught up with another presentation, but he will be joining us before the end of the show. I'm not sure exactly what time. So I will be trying to run things until he comes online. And what I've decided to do for today is he's been doing the driving the last 2-3 episodes where we started building out the CDK, that what I want to do is I want to set up a Cloud9 environment for myself to start playing with the CDK. Because my background is more in Terraform, so I've played quite a lot with Terraform, and I think that getting into the CDK would be a lot more fun for me. So let me quickly set up my screen to share. Cool, let's have a look over here. Share screen, Chrome tab. Yeah, that does look to be it. Let's quickly have a look over here. And okay, now I need to add this to the stream. There we go. Sorry, triple tasking. There we go. And I can make this a little bit bigger first. Get rid of this page. So this, what we have over here, is a brand new Cloud9 environment. I just need to increase the font for everyone quickly. Let me do that. So Cloud9, for those not familiar, is a web-based IDE inside your AWS account that you can use. And it just runs off a EC2 instance. Cool font. I've actually not had to do the font in a while. Let's have a look. If anybody in the comments can help me out, please send me comments. Also, welcome everyone, and hope you enjoy this. And to get things off, maybe just give me a couple of shout outs where people are joining from, because I know we've had some interesting people join very early in the US, because I think it's about 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. there, depending on which time zone you're in. And let's see. The size, it's probably under themes. Nope. Key bindings, nope. Maybe user settings. Let's see. There we go. This looks promising. We are looking for terminal. Yeah, here we go. Let's increase this a bit. Alrighty then. There we go. That looks a lot better. Right. Slightly smaller. Sorry, this is a little bit big for me then to be able to at least have commands in there. Okay, cool. So we've got that going. And now what I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to grab that repo from Darko's GitHub page. So I'll paste the link inside the chat just now. Darko Meszaros. Cool. And sorry, my GitHubbing is failing. Meszaros. Sorry, I always have to focus how to pronounce and spell his surname. Darko in there. There are many Meszaroses out there apparently. RUP12, that is his blog. Cool. I have got access to his info. Let's see. Nope. Let's see. GitHub. Let's just go back to his main page. Here we go. Finally found it. Sorry for that. Took a while. Oh, there's no Z in his name on GitHub. That's probably why. Cool. Let's see his repositories. Sorry, I'm not showing the right tab at the moment. I will in a second. The one that we want to grab is Bean Streaming CDK Infra. So let's clone that. And okay, now we can get going finally. Okay, git clone. Cool. So grabbing all the code quickly. And so for those unfamiliar with this repo that we're doing, you can see the URL there on the screen. I'll quickly pop it here in the chat. Repo used for our sessions. Cool. So that's the repo where we're building it out. And what we're aiming to do is to first get a ECS cluster up and running and deploy a basic web application to it. And then once that's up and running, what we want to do is we want to transform it to create a second CDK repository that allows us to define the infrastructure that creates that project's code build job, code pipeline job, etc. But we want to do it in such a way that we actually utilize the CDK to generate all the infrastructure for the service itself. And if we want to add infrastructure, that actually gets rolled out by using a CI/CD pipeline that's built for that project. So let's quickly check. I've got that. And now we're going into the folder. Being streaming. I can open it up on the left here. We have got our lib. Where are we at the moment? Cool. There we go. Let me just make that a little bit bigger. Cool. So what we're seeing here is a whole bunch of errors, and this completely makes sense because I do not have all the modules installed. So the first thing is let's quickly double check what version of CDK this Cloud9 instance shipped with. I spun it up this morning. So this is 1.56. What version did we have pinned in our packages? Okay, brilliant, 156. So the package version matched, so I'm good to go there. So now what I need to do is I should be able to go npm install, and let's see what happens because there is a package.json file. So let's see what happens. So for those who haven't joined the previous sessions, like I said, I don't do as much with CDK as I would like to, and this is part of me learning. So what I'm doing now is I know a bit of Node. I've fiddled with some projects, built some things, but I'm by no means an expert. So my understanding here is that I should just be able to do this, and it would have installed all the packages that I needed because there is a package.json, and voila, it actually worked. Yay. So I am off to a good start. Cool. So let us see quickly if I can do CDK synth to actually just get, if I can spell synth. I had this issue with the webinar this week as well, synth. And this will hopefully not error. And then the next step will be to actually deploy this, just to make certain that it works. Now that'll actually be a very boring start to the session because I was actually hoping that this is a little bit harder, but this should hopefully prove the point that it's not that difficult to get going with a CDK project once there's some existing source code. Okay, so what have we got here? We have got some security-related changes. So for those not familiar with the CDK, it will always warn you about any specific a security group or IAM permissions or role changes that it wants to make, because these are obviously security-related and you need to review them. So we can see quite a lot is being done over here. I am going to just quickly close my eyes and say yes, because I remember this was working last time. Aha. Right. Okay. I need to bootstrap my account. Now, this will be interesting. This stack uses assets, so the toolkit must be deployed to an environment. Right. Let me go look at this error, because I have never seen this error. Okay, let me actually see if I can fix this screen sharing. Give me a second quickly. Stop screen share screen. Yep. Sorry, I'm hopping on my feet. Application window. Let's see if this works. This will give us an infinitely deep view, so sorry about that for the start. Let's add that. Let's just double check. Oh, I need to add it to the stream over here. Okay, perfect. Cool. So what we can see over here is me starting to Google, and I'll make it a little bit bigger for everyone so you can see what I can find. Okay, cool. Ooh, too big. So, right, CDK, this looks like a good place to start. Okay, let's see what they say over here. So Claire is actually on our ECS team on AWS, so hopefully this tells us some more. Tool comments, blah, 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 blah. Following instructions, CDK bootstrap, chuck, results in the expected environment name and format account region got chuck. Okay, well, let us use this and actually see what it does. Let's just, before we do that, just quickly run CDK bootstrap -- help to see if there's any information about this. Okay, let's scroll up a little bit. Okay, here we go. Bootstrap deploys the CDK toolkit stack into an AWS environment. That does sound like something we want. So let's paste this in here. Now we are running in, or I tend to run in EU West 1, which is the Ireland region. So, and that is definitely not my account number. So let me quickly get the account number. I'm trying to, actually, you know what? I'm going to use the CLI. CLI gets account number. So we can do this properly. Let's see. Will this document have, that's not useful. Listing account details. It's not the alias we want. Okay, let's go back to the command line. There we go, get caller identity. I remember that one. Cool, so let's go down to the sample, grab that, do that, pop that quickly in there, and now we are going to do the get caller identity. This, for in case you're wondering, is very weird for me. I'm so used to having streaming sessions with other people. So if I do ramble on and get completely lost, I apologize in advance. Just quickly, I'm having a look at the comments. Is everything okay? Can everybody hear me? Maybe just pop a comment of some kind so I can just at least make sure that everything is up. It's very quiet over here at the moment. Okay, there we go. The Andre is there. Awesome. Cool. So let's see what is happening now. It is doing things to my environment. Now, let me go dig into this because I actually didn't know about this bootstrap command. So AWS CDK bootstrap. Because I think what it does, it probably creates a bucket to upload the CloudFormation templates to, because CDK uses CloudFormation behind the scenes. And it's, there we go. This sounds a little bit better. Because then it needs to do something in your account. Now, it's interesting because I've used CDK before, and I can't remember running this bootstrap command. So I do find that a little bit interesting. Not much info over here. Specifying. Okay, here we go. CDK bootstraps, profile tests, default account region. Oh, sorry, that's a bit small. Apologies. Okay, there we go. That is hopefully readable. Please let me know if the text is too small still. I can only view this on a second screen, which is running at a low resolution, not even 1080p. So it's a little bit difficult for me to make sure that you can view it. So please just shout in the chat if it isn't. Cool. You want bootstrapping. Cool. So stacks that contain assets. Let's see what those assets were. Local file directory document images that are bundled in libraries. Okay, so let us go look, because I don't remember us doing anything like that. Which is interesting. We only have the TypeScript and our stack over here. I find that super interesting. But in any case, let's move along and dive right into saying YOLO and deploy, and let's see what happens. It's probably going to ask us for the security again, as I would expect. Yep. Okay, cool. So yes, and okay, it is going ahead nicely. Okay, cool. So let's clean this up a little bit. Let's go take a look at the console quickly. Let's see if I wonder if I can jump directly to CloudFormation. CloudFormation. We will quickly learn. That does work. That's good to know. So, like I said, CDK uses CloudFormation in the background, and what you can see over here. Sorry, let me just quickly ignore this. My screen just popped. There we go. Popped away. So the bean streaming stack that we're busy deploying. Let's have a look at the resources. No resources yet. Events. It's currently review in progress, create in progress. Let's look at the timestamps. It is doing things. There we go. Now we've got some action. Let's see over here. Okay. So what we are creating is an entire new VPC. We are creating some resources along with that. I believe last time we had our, let's have a look here. We had our pipelines running. We added stages for deploying. And if all goes well, we should be able to see the output URL of our load balancer to actually take a look here. Now, what I can do probably while I wait for Darko to join us is I can look at adding a custom domain to it, because that's one of the things that we often skip in some of the demos that we have in our documentation. Because while deploying something using the URLs that we provide with our AWS services for you, providing that URL to someone else with is a little bit difficult. So HTTP / lots of random characters and letters and numbers and .something.com. Now, the reason for that is obviously we have certain domains with SSL wildcard certificates on them, and that's a way to at least expose the service to you to use and make sure that everything's working, but it's not that useful. So let's quickly start digging into the documentation and see what that works. So I'm going to look at CDK for ACM, which is Amazon Certificate Manager, and there is definitely a module for that. That is good news so far. Cool. So I'm going to grab this so long, because I know we'll be needing it. So let's add it over here. And we can do the same imports as ACM from. Cool. And let's just do that. And let's double check here quickly. Okay, that's in. I need to remember to install this, so we'll get back to that. Now let's take a look at what we've got down here. We've got a new certificate, cert manager, new certificate, this, domain name, that. That looks fairly simple, so we are going to grab that. Let's see where our task definition, ECS service, load balancer. Okay, that's great. There is our load balancer. So let me get us a little bit more space over here. Right, before we get to the rest. So we've been using these to actually keep track of what we want to create. So I'm going to add one here saying SSL cert, and then add cert to load balancer. And then lastly, what we need to do is, it's actually over there. So let me just paste this in before I lose it. I'm going to grab that. We are going to add some custom DNS, because I do already have a domain on this account that I've set up for random examples. Cool. So there we go. Things are there. Okay, so it's obviously not happy with Cert Manager. So in our case, because I called it ACM, we shall call this being streaming ECS, just to differentiate it. Now, the domain that we're going to be using, I need to quickly go double check, because I know I've got one over here. So let's quickly sort out my console. So for those not familiar with it, you can actually use this pin button over here. And this allows you to drag services up and down into the bar at the top that makes it easy to jump between them. So we are going to be using Amazon Certificate Manager or AWS Certificate Manager. Let's see quickly. AWS okay, so it's just under Certificate Manager. Let's see. There we go. We need Certificate Manager. We need Route 53. We are going to be using ECS, not Cloud9. CloudFormation we can just keep open. We can't jump to it that often. I need ECS, so Elastic Container Service over there. What else do we need? Code build and pipeline. There we go. Code build. Actually, let's just do code pipeline because. Okay. And right, so now what I can do is let's jump to Route 53 and see what I have got here. I'm fairly certain this will be my fun domain called Button Monkey. I loved using it for different. Oh, sorry, this is a little bit too big. All right, new console. Oh, okay. Route 53 has changed. Hosted zones. Let's have a look. I've actually not played with this new console yet. Okay, we want Button Monkey. Right. Okay, cool. So Button Monkey is there. It's set up. It's already got some records in there, but we'll make use of whatever CDK will provide for us for that. Sweet. So let's grab that. Go back here. And the domain we are dealing with is that. Cool. Right. So this actually worked. Our stack is up and running. So let's just quickly confirm the URL to see what we've got running. Yes, so Max Payne Live. The question, sorry, let me pop it on the screen for those who are interested, is process real-time video streams like Twitch video streams for OCR and machine learning image models in real time. So you can process streams in one or two ways. The first one is if you want to make use of what we call our serverless AI/ML services like Recognition, you can actually stream it to Recognition. You'd have to put in, I think, some kind of app in the middle, or at least some kind of code that takes the Twitch stream and then forwards it to that specific service. And that service can actually apply machine learning on the video stream as it comes in. The second way to do it would be to make use of SageMaker and actually build up your own model and then deploy the servers using SageMaker. So for those not familiar with SageMaker, it's our machine learning framework that allows you to easily build and train machine learning models and then also host them with just a couple of clicks. Most of the infrastructure is abstracted away from you. So definitely. What we were doing is double checking over here. Okay, cool. So we've got our simple PHP app up and running. And there we go. Cool. So, okay, I needed to remember to install this package quickly before we have any errors in here. Cool. So that's npm install, and we add that there. Let's quickly see what happens. It'll be interesting now to see if there's a newer version than the one we previously had, because I remember last episode or 2 episodes back, we had some versioning issues. So, okay, here we go. It installed. Let's just double check the version here at the bottom. Oh, sorry, not that one, this one. Right. Okay, so this is now where the fun comes in. That is not the right version. This will not work for us. So I'm going to pin this, and is it npm uninstall or remove? Let's see quickly. Uninstall, there we go. And let me see what is happening here. Okay, cool. Give me 1 second. Okay. Right. It's uninstalled. Right. So now if I save this, let's just go npm install again. It should hopefully install that package for us. Let's just wait while that's running. Okay, fix that. Okay. And okay, that should have installed it for us. Let's just open up over here and see if we've got any issues now. It's not happy. Why? Let us see. What did it install? It did install the certificate manager for us at that. So let's just quickly save this file and make sure that all changes are working. Still unhappy. Okay. Time for me to learn a bit more about JavaScript. Right. Let's see if CDK synth actually works, because that should run through the build job. Let's see what it does. Okay. Can't import that from certificate manager. Right. Why? Let's actually see if I install a specific npm install specific module version. So I know you normally can have some kind of command that you do. Install package at. Okay. So let's see what happens when I do that. Install that other one at 1. What is the number I'm looking for? 1.56.0. Right. Let's see what that does. This should now install the right version for us. And I'm assuming it'll do something. Oh, you know what? If I look here, let me just close this. I actually don't see it being added. I was not paying attention. Code build, commit, pipeline, code build actions, ECR. Okay, right. That is why it was missing, I think. Let's see if I can fix that. Let's grab from here the actual package name. And we pop it in here again. That looks about right. And we grab the same version. Okay. And now we go npm install. Sorry, if anybody has got some Node or JavaScript knowledge, please drop it on me. Added one package from one contributor. Right. Okay, cool. That did seem to fix the problem. Alrighty then. Okay. So we now have the ability to create a certificate. So let's go get ahead and do that and see what happens. Because that might take some time. So CDK deploy, hit that up. Okay. Right, it is running things. Okay, so while that is going, let's get ready for the next step, which will be, we're going to need that. We don't need this anymore. CDK LB. Okay, thanks, Alex Trek, which is saying I need to add the -- save after my npm. Okay, that makes sense. I've dealt with this in other languages. Thank you for that one. I will remember that now, hopefully. Also, for those that are curious about Mr. Sidekick over here, that is a monitor stand that I had, and I took it off because I added my monitor to one of the desk arms that I have now set up here to clean up a bit more desk space. And when I took it off, I just couldn't stop giggling because of that little face that it has there. And that, what you see there, the smile, is actually the part that allows you to tilt the monitor 90 degrees. And howdy, Exploit 33 is from Italy. Cool. Okay. I am now going to look at this Elastic Load Balancing version 2 and see if I can find certificate on here. Let's see, quick. Okay. Let's jump in here. Okay. Nope, load balancing targets. Okay, this should be interesting. Let's dig into this a little bit. Target groups and targets. Add targets. It'll be on the listener. So let's go ahead and see if I can autocomplete the listener over here. So previously we had a port 80 listener. So I'm going to duplicate this. Let's just actually add a comment here so we know what we're doing. HTTP/TCP 880. Oh, not 080. Sorry, 80 listener. And what we are going to do now is copy that whole block and duplicate it and accept this will now be the web. This is call it 443 for now. I will come back and figure out better names in a little bit. So we'll call this add listener HTTPS. You are listening on port 443, and I do believe there will be more over here. So yes, certificates. Let's have a look here. It's protocol. I believe this should be HTTPS. Let's see what the autocomplete does. There we go. Awesome. So this is the other nice advantage here. Normally, I know with my local setup, I have to spend a bit of time setting up the IDE to get it to be able to understand the framework that I'm working with. For example, with Terraform, I would have to install a couple of plugins and do a bit of configuration. But it seems that Cloud9 is actually already perfectly set up to use the CDK, which is awesome for me. So let's go back to that certificate. Certificates, what's this? Let's see. What value will it give me? Action. Let's actually just do this quickly. Web add listener, CDK, ELB v2, add listener. Okay. Actually, sorry, I just saw 443 just in the background now. Let's hop back. Adding a listener and targets. Interesting. This is very interesting. Let's search for 443 on this page. I've got 3 options. It doesn't show us how to add a certificate. Huh. There we go. Application listener certificate. That sounds like something we want. That should be inside that same package, so we don't have to install anything again. New application listener certificate. That might be something we need. Okay. Let's take a look at the code down here. Listener certificates is an array of certificates, one of certificates, and certificate. Okay, so either the certificate ARN or the actual list of certificates. So because I've got that certificate up here as a variable, where is this? Okay, this needs to be above this here. So let me add it in here. Otherwise, no, sorry, bad paste. This is port 80. This is port. Oh, I didn't fix my comments. Someone should have reprimanded me there. Cool. So let's add this in here rather. Okay. So we've got the SSL certificate. So now I can say certificates of, and it needs to be a list apparently. So let's see cert. If it likes this. Why is it unhappy with the generator get and a set? Oh, I don't think I have to do that. Let's just double check what I see over here. If there's some sample code for me. Nope. Oh, this is a. I'll just copy this because I get the feeling I'm going to need this instead of creating the certificate by default because of the way CDK abstracts it. So I'm going to pop this in here saying, sorry, paste. Oh, there we go. We've got that running. And cool. So we've got the certificate. It's still running. So what's happening in the background, for those not familiar with how ACM or Amazon Certificate Manager works, is if I go to Certificate Manager over here, let me just open it up for you so I can show you. Sorry, I'm sitting all the way down in South Africa and I'm connecting to Ireland. So there is a definite amount of lag of about 180 milliseconds between everything I do and where it does. Okay, so that's not legible. Ooh, this is. Just hide that. Cool. So what you can see on the screen here is where you request certificates, and these are SSL certificates. This is not like the normal ones that you purchase on the internet where they will send you a public as well as a private file, and then you need to go and install this on your web server to be able to use it. How this works is it's a fully managed service and you request a certificate. We then go through the validation steps, which I'll get to in a moment. And then once we've validated the certificate and created it, you can then install the certificate on a number of services. For example, on API gateways or on load balancers are some of the most common use cases. Now, when you install it on those services, you still don't have to deal with the actual private and public portion of the certificate. Because that's what the service does. It abstracts that away from you and you don't have to deal with them, which means you can easily use them. Now, how the validation works is that there are two mechanisms. By default, it'll use DNS validation. And what that does is it requires you to create a record, a CNAME record specifically, that points to a URL that we control. And the reasoning is that if you can add DNS records, you can prove that you own the domain, and therefore we can say, okay, we're going to issue you the certificate. Because otherwise, anybody can request a certificate for any domain, and that kind of breaks the whole trust principle behind SSL and validating who actually bought the certificate. The second method is that when you register any domain, there is a list of emails that you have to provide for the domain owner as well as the technical contact, etc. And that was the initial method that we have. And what would happen is that when you request a certificate, we send out an email to those email addresses, and one of them needs to click accept on it to once again prove that you control the email behind the DNS. And that's how we do the validation. And then that's how you know it. Another one of the most important things to know about ACM is that you don't pay for these certificates. They are completely free. So it's quite useful because, for example, I can request a public certificate like this. I say request a certificate, give it a domain name like domain.com. And now what I can do is I can add up to, I think, 30 additional domains. So I can go put a wildcard like that, domain.com. Or where it becomes really interesting is you can do things like, for example, let's say my test domain.com, and then also add a wildcard for that one, like my test domain.com. And where this becomes fun is that because the load balancers are able to use SNI, which is server name identification, to figure out, in looking at the host headers, where the request is coming from, you can actually host multiple domains on a single load balancer, and then you can use that to actually direct the traffic and test out features. So you can release, let's say, a new endpoint or path on your domain, and then only expose it on the other one. And let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. I see a wild Darko has appeared. I hear someone in my ear. Welcome, Darko.
Hey, Cobus. Oh my God, I love your sidekick. Why do I even need to be here, right?
I was lonely, okay? So
Sorry. Oh my God.
so this ticks another box for our session, because every time we start a new stream, I try and make Darko giggle just before we go live. So I'm very happy that Mr. Sidekick was able to provide that today, because it takes him a few minutes to recover. Cool.
Thank you very much. Let me
Awesome.
grab
I
my
missed
laptop.
you. Yeah.
It's
Okay. So that's all good. So while you are getting set up over there, what I was able to do is to... Shoo, that's gotten big now. Sorry, let me just... Something resized over here. Give me a second. Why did that resize now? Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. That's just why. Give me a second. Okay, sorry. I did something. Let me just reload the page. For
Take your
Cloud9, it does... There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, but... Sorry, I'm honestly not sure what happened now with the settings over here, because this is huge. Let's make that a little bit smaller. But also my actual ID. Yeah, okay, let me just quickly see if I do just the page. Oh, there we go. That's what I did. Sorry. It's because of one of the other pages that I increased the size on. Cool. So that's readable. That's readable again. Okay, cool. So, Darko, what I have been doing is, while you were gone, is I got my IDE up and running, which was actually very, very easy. And then what I've also now been doing is I've decided that while I'm here, I want to try and add an SSL certificate to our load balancer to see if we can get it to actually serve on a custom domain. So the road I'm currently going down is I've found the construct for an ACM certificate. But when I was digging through the documentation, I also found this application listen certificate. And knowing how CDK abstracts things, my gut feel tells me that that is going to be the one we actually want and not this other one. But I thought, hey, let's go down this rabbit hole and see what's happening.
The only thing I remember, well, so last time I did some certificates on CDKs that you had to manually do some things, some verification, if I recall correctly.
Well, that's the two where I was looking now.
Okay.
Yeah, so pending verification. Yeah, so I took people through how this verification works, and what we can see over here is Amazon issued pending validation. Let's see quickly. So I was just taking our listeners through how the validation works, and what you can see over here is interestingly is trying to send me an email, which it did. So what I probably have to do is let me quickly just I'm sorry, I'm just quickly checking on my phone my email. Do I have this even set? There we go. Let's quickly see. Let me go to the inbox. Oh, this is gonna be fun. There are no mails in there, so I will have to wait.
Do you have one of those email addresses stated above? Because it has to be one of those.
Well, so the way this email address is, or this domain is set up is that it's a catch-all. It's a
catch-all. Okay.
So so I should have all of them. I've got some sign-ins. Those are boring. Let us quickly go into, maybe it's in spam. It's on spam. Okay. So this is unfortunately where we are going to get stuck, it seems then, because this domain that I have is not, I think there might be an email issue. I haven't been paying attention to it. I've had it for a few years and I haven't played with it enough. So, right. I think let's quickly regroup and think what we are going to do then instead of this. Let me comment out what I was about to do. So this was going to be over there. Yeah, that still says port 80. And can I do this? Yay, it works. Alrighty then. Cool. So this obviously is going to continue hanging. Let me just quickly fix the screen again. How do I get there? Cloud9 preferences. And hopefully I learned. This time I remember it was under user settings. Yes.
How did you create the certificate? Did you create it
with CDK?
Okay. Because there's a way you can define when you do CDK, when you use ACM, right? So you're using ACM to define a certificate, you can actually specify which kind of validation you want to use. So you can specify DNS validation and point it to
let's actually do that.
So if you open the documentation for AWS-certificate manager for CDK.
Okay, let's do that. I will have it here somewhere. Not this one.
Certificate manager. By the way, chat, I have a new laptop now, so it should not die anymore on me. So
That is always.
And if you missed it yesterday, I had a stream of setting up my laptop. So
here we go. There it is.
There you go. So
Boom.
basically
Okay.
you can set up, you can say that in which zone you want to use. So, and especially because you have a hosted zone.
Cool. So let's quickly see construct ID. Okay, and I have to domain name. We've got that hosted zone. Right.
Yep. And this hosted zone is hosted in your account. So, well, it's not. It's.
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. Oh, what's going on here now? Sorry. This is probably I'm using Synergy, and it sometimes hangs on to some keys. Where was I? Load balancer. Here we go. Okay, cool. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. So we want to do hosted zone, and would this just be the zone ID? So I can literally go to my.
No, you have to don't use hosted zone. You have to use the domain name. Sorry, you have to use validation, not hosted zone. That's the parameter, is validation. So,
yeah, but what I'm saying is, look here at the documentation quickly. There's actually a construct for DNS validation. Validated.
Exactly, you're using the property, right? So if you go to overview, go to certificate construct, right? So we are using a certificate construct here, right?
Yes, but I just changed that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because I want to use this one. This one definitely looks more like what we want to do.
Okay.
You see, because I think that'll do because what that'll do is I think because with the other method, if you use the you specify DNS validation, you still need to go and add it. Yeah, so I'm thinking this will actually, like with some of the other constructs, like do all the magic for us. At least that's what I'm hoping. Yeah.
Okay. We will be automatically validated using DNS validation against the specific Route 53 hosted zone. Okay. Now,
yes.
The thing is, are you executing this in your account? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Perfect.
Well, unless you left that password sticky and it's still working. No.
Password 123. Nobody here.
Yes. We've got a lot of fun. If you accidentally give someone access to one of your accounts, we tend to go have a bit of fun when we can. So just quickly on that, for those who are running Mac laptops, if you do, it's at a couple of previous companies, we've had a thing where to make people more security aware that you don't just get up and go grab coffee and leave your laptop unlocked. We used to do pranks on them, but they always need to be harmless because you really don't want to cause real issues. So do things that'll be just like make someone laugh or find it funny or just be a little bit, sometimes slightly annoying when it comes to, having done it like 10 times. And one of the best ones I found is that you go edit the cron tab and add a recurring every 5-minute thing that says something, because there's a command on Mac that you just go say and then quoted string, and then it'll try and say that string for you. So my favorite one, because we had this thing where every time somebody did something like that, you would go baggy pants, and it just would then say baggy pants in your ear every 5 minutes. Cool. I'm going to do this now. I have no idea what happens because I'm very new to CDK and want to see how CloudFormation handles it. So, okay, there's an error here. Why is it unhappy? It wants to generate a get and a set command.
Yeah, so it's not a string. So you have to actually create an object. So it uses a thing called an hosted zone. Yes, that's the CDK. So you need to create a hosted zone, and you need a Route 53.
Yes, so that's not what I want to do. I want to be able to reference an existing one. Can I do that with CDK?
No, that's fine. Absolutely, you can do that, but you have to create an object with Route 53, right? So basically what you have to do in this case, let me show, is there an example of this one? There is not. So a hosted zone, it has to be an object called hosted zone. So it has to be, so do you have the Route 53 module set up?
Not yet. Apologies for the dog barking.
That's something you have to do. So you have to import Route 53.
Okay, let's just
install Route 53 as well. So
okay, R53. This will be 8 AWS route 53. I learned all about these fun things earlier today.
Good.
And I'm now going to do it. Yeah. No. I had fun with that as well. Oh wait, no. Let me learn. Sorry, muscle memory. Let me try and do what one of the viewers told me today, which is npm install -- save, That's
But even if you
sorry.
don't use this, even if you don't use save, it's gonna put it as well in the package JSON.
I didn't.
Really?
Okay. It didn't for me, at least. And we want version 1.56.0 because we are on version 1.58 already since last week. So let's quickly see what this does. You are muted, my friend. Cool. It did something here. It added it. Let's just quickly. You're still on mute. I cannot hear your background.
I know. I don't wanna kill the people here with my mechanical keyboard sounds.
Okay,
So
cool.
I'm typing something out.
Nice. Cool. Okay. We're putting the version. There we are. Good. Let's go back over here. I've got that. Now let's see where. Right is new. R53 dot. Let's see what we've got available. Would I need to do this or would I need to? So okay, let's Google. I still don't know how this works. CDK import existing resource. Let's see. Yes.
So you don't have to import it. It's not just that matter of fact. So it's a Route 53. So if you go to Route 53, so let's find a module. So one of the things that you have to do here is
okay. I'll go to.
Let me find it here. Route 53, right? So there's an iHosted zone. So one of the things that you can use is a hosted zone.
Okay, I'm there. Boom.
So here's the thing. Let's see.
There's an initializer.
So basically, we need to create an iHosted zone object that it's
Cool.
implemented by a few things. So one of the way we can implement is from hosted zone. We can do. Here's the thing. So hosted zone. So it should look like this. It should be new. Let's create this one. Go to CDK. Open up. Well, sorry. Go to your text editor.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Let's create a constant. So it's going to be new Route 53 hosted zone.
Okay. Hosted.
It's capital.
There we go.
That one. Dot.
Yeah.
From hosted zone ID.
Ah, okay.
So
Thank
yeah,
you.
we're creating an object right now with an iHosted zone type, and basically we're going to be using this constant Route 53 zone inside of that thing here.
Cool. Let's pop that in there. Cool. And now what we specify is the route 53 zone.
Yes.
Just like that. Okay.
Yep. I think this is how it should work. I don't know. So let's check it out.
Let's go ahead and say CDK deploy. How was your session, by the way, while we're waiting for this to run quickly?
It was good. So I was late because I was delivering a session on serverless. So yeah. You have to do. There's a few things you need to specify here. New Route 53 hosted zone from.
Let's do something like this. I'm going to guess here. Nope. Okay, let's look at the.
No. It has to be. How does this work? So let's see. From settings already.
Let's just see quickly. I want to see how you actually get there. So structs, interfaces, enums. Let's see.
So it's a method. It's basically a method to this hosted zone construct. On the right hand side is from hosted zone.
Hosted zone ID.
Yeah.
There we go. Cool.
Yeah.
So we want to send in.
You can basically initialize the hosted zone first, right? So I believe you can just initialize the hosted zone like normal. Just use this and just give a dummy name, and then 1 second. Let me see if I can.
But that documentation. Okay, let's quickly. Okay, let me do this the right way. Cut that out and go brackets and see what it says. Okay, cool. So I need to scope, which is this.
So yes.
Then ID, which is
just give it a name. It's a logical ID. So it's
been streaming, and then the actual zone.
And then yes.
Cool. So let's just rip this out quickly. No, wonder what I'm missing then. Oh, No more in the bracket.
it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Cool. Now it still doesn't like this.
Why doesn't it not like it? So
Extracts to methods new. Oh, that's why.
okay.
It's not new. Oh, sorry. Because that. There we go. Basic programming. Awesome. We're not instantiating an object. We are making use of a static method on this class, I believe.
Programming.
Cool. Mm-hmm. I used to be a developer in a previous life.
By the way, I did just now a session on serverless, and I have as a backdrop here a set of racks on screen. So just so we can show people why did it fail.
Let's have a look.
No, that's not it. That's not it. No, that's the same. I think you scrolled up too much. So scroll down.
Oh, there we go. There we go. From a zone doesn't support zone name.
Okay. So, but you didn't find a zone name. You said ID, string, props, hosted zone, props.
Maybe it wants us to do properties. Actually,
No,
maybe. Oh. So check that with the documentation again. 1, 2, 3, and it's ISO construct string.
You did it correctly. For some reason, it's complaining because maybe we're instantiating a new one. So okay, let's you know what? Instead of doing the constant here, we can try to comment this one out, comment it out, and we can do the entire line on the hosted zone part there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's try it this way.
Cool.
So just remove the semicolon.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Add a comma because this is JavaScript or TypeScript, and we can do these weird, funky things. That still bugs me a tremendous amount when I look at these languages. I understand why they added it.
Yeah. Okay. Still. See, new.
Hosted zone from. Wait. Hold on. Let's check. I think. Is there a way? Here we go. See. Can I pick a different version of the CDK documentation? Let's see.
Oh, you're using the
because. We are not past versions. Let's have a look quickly. Past versions of the documentation. Okay. So we've got one or two options here. We can either go YOLO and upgrade to the latest version, because this might have made it into that version, and that's why we get this error. Or we can try and dig more into the documentation. How lucky do we feel?
Let me try to figure this out. How does this work?
Let me have a look here quickly at the source code. Let's see quickly. Packages. AWS CDK. That looks like where we want to be. And we were on, this is the Route 53 one, right? Scroll down. So just for those wondering why I don't do a Control F and just jump directly to it, I personally like actually scrolling through like these, so I might catch a name or something that I haven't seen before. It's just a little hack that I do in terms of just to keep an eye on things. So we haven't had a commit. We had a commit in 28 days. Let us see. Lib. Hosted zone provider. Hosted zone, that sounds about like it. From, there we go. Hosted zone ID, when last was this file touched? 7 July. Right, now, I want to see when last this was released. Where do we have the release history? Let's go back to CDK. This is hopefully entertaining. There we go, tags.
This is why the people come here for, to watch us troubleshoot.
Yes, 13 days ago. So that was at the end of July, right? Yes. Let's quickly see. Let's see what the notes say for version 57. So nothing for certificate in this case. So I'm now not doing the scrolling because I'm looking for something specific. So, nope. Maybe ACM. Nope. Oh, this is Route 53. Sorry, my bad. Nope. Do we want to just upgrade?
Wait. Let me.
Or am I doing something really stupid here?
I don't think it's that the problem. I think it's just.
Okay, apologies about that. I hope it's not too loud.
We don't hear a dog, by the way.
Sorry, let me just, sorry, see what happens there. Sorry. Okay, cool. That means my noise cancelling is working really, really well.
We literally hear just you.
Okay, that's awesome because the dog's barking my head off and there is a generator purring along outside because we have got load shedding again. Right. But my interest here is that why does not complain in the IDE for us?
Maybe interesting, because like we just need to find this thing. So if we do from hosted zone ID, right, or from lookup,
let's have a look. Cool. There's a query hosted zone provider props, a hosted zone ID, but I mean this should be fairly simple.
Yeah, we just suck at programming. By the way, none of us are TypeScript developers, so
yeah. Let's just make sure it's from that zone ID and I'm not being from hosted zone ID. Yep. That looks fine.
Wait.
Okay. What insight did we have? Please tell me.
So, can you do CDK deploy? I want to see the error again.
Cool. Give me a second. Sorry, just taking a sip of some tab at the moment. No caffeine, no sugar, no fun.
Wow. So hosted zone from hosted doesn't support zone name.
Yes. Validation failed.
Yeah, validation failed with following errors. Validation DNS zone undefined is not authoritative. Aha. No. DNS zone undefined, so that's not good anyway. So, but it is. Is this? This is an authoritative domain. Yeah, of course it is. It's the only one.
Yes. Let me just double check. But Microcosa. Yep. This is definitely the one I use for demos.
DNS Foundation. 1 second. Let me just go back to. I want to find this.
Let's look at this.
Certificate manager.
Doesn't support zone name. Okay, let me just double check here again. I'm not very, very, very curious. And it's complaining. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to see if we can force the actual parameter name like this. Or what is this? How do you normally do this with? Can you actually do this? Let me see quickly. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pass in, because you can in some language you can do if there are optional parameters to methods or constructors, you can specify the name. But because see what's bugging me, what I think here is the following: is that from hosted zone ID doesn't support zone name. So what the issue is that this parameter it's interpreting it as zone name instead of zone ID, which is weird because if I cut this out, let's just quickly go there and do the comma again. What will happen is it should tell me that. Let's see if I have it here.
Okay. So
what did we find?
Hosted zone.
Two notes. Tell me.
I found the interesting thing how this is done. So
cool.
The thing is, we're passing in a zone name instead of a zone ID. So
I can see what we have to do now. Probably go get a zone.
Yes. So if we do, if I'm looking at this thing here, zone props on ID.
Okay, two more. Tell me what you're thinking.
So I'm looking at I'm looking at an example code somebody wrote. So I'm trying to figure this thing out, because there are a few nicely nicely done examples somewhere. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. How does this work? Because this is somebody who tried to write less code, like literally just cram thing in a couple of lines. So I'm trying to figure this one out. How does it actually work? So
my feeling here is, let's just go back to the construct over here. Sorry, it is very noisy over here. I really hope the dog barking doesn't come through. It's confusing me a lot. Okay, that is very, very good. I am super happy with that. Hosted zone ID. So it could be, but it's a string. So I mean, if I look at this in terms of documentation, I see hosted zone ID is defined as a string. So the way I see it, this should be fine. So is that actually the issue? Because what I'm pondering here is hosted zone over here. It's complaining about hosted zone. And what can I get out of this? Can I say, there we go. And what is this?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't need the string. It needs the entire object. So that's fine. No, you're right. If we do just this, it's going to return. It needs the entire object. So this should be fine.
Okay, cool.
The only thing that's not that. So the TypeScript is good. The thing where it fails is.
Maybe send me that code and I can pop it on the screen and we can look at it together.
1 second. Find you somewhere else.
You can chat in the private chat.
I can't. Are you open? Do you have Slack close by?
Yeah, I've got Slack here next to me on one of the many screens. Cool. Right. Copy link.
But this one is actually using hosted zone lookup, so this is not the same thing. It's so it's passing up zone ID. That one. Zone name.
Hosted. Here we go. Hosted zone.
So we can use something similar to this one. So this is not using just from zone ID. It's basically using zone props, which is name and ID. That can also be done.
So see, I hear you that we can do this.
But basically, this person is using the same thing. So if you look at cert arn, basically it's using DNS validate certificate, and hosted zone is just the zone object, right? So we're doing it the same way. So something just fails.
But what we could do in theory is, bear with me quickly here, that bit of code, if we steal that. So let's quickly, sorry, I don't have all the fun. What do you call it? Boom, that. And then instead of this is domain name is...
You don't have to use props. Yeah, just use domain. Yeah.
Monkey.co.za. Cool. So now in theory, what am I missing? Oh, comma. Yeah, there we go. In theory, this could work. Let me see if I interpret this. I still want to figure out why that host and zone ID doesn't work, because that seems like the better way of doing it. Exactly. So in theory, this will now go do a lookup on our Route 53 configuration, and let's just quickly make sure that I don't actually have multiple domains like that. I do not. Awesome. So that in theory should work, because we've only got one button monkey defined inside our account. So let's see. Here we go. Cannot retrieve value from context provider hosted zone since account region are not specified at the stack level.
So you need to specify a region at a stack provider, context provider hosted zone.
So initially what I did is I ran the bootstrapping with the specific account ID and region in it, but I'm assuming now I need to specify this somewhere.
So you can actually do that. Let me show you an example. I usually do it for most of my stacks, so I can introduce multiple different stacks. Go to my GitHub page if you have my GitHub somewhere.
I have got it.
I see it there. Yes. So go to my repos. Just go to any of my repositories.
Oh, look at that face.
Yeah, if you go to the serverless CDK workshop, the first one. Yeah.
Yep.
If you go to working example, go to bin and open that up. You'll see I defined two stacks here, right? You see
gotcha.
See? So basically what you can do, instead of doing the prod, you can ignore the prod completely. Just use that end of, so basically defining those parameters, those properties, a stack level property like that. So
that is super interesting.
Yeah. So.
Okay. I know.
Okay.
I want to be able to type it because if I type something out, I remember it better.
Okay.
So let's just do that. Cool. I'm not going to set prod. I'm just going to go env.
Env, yeah.
And yeah. Okay. Cool. And we want. You've got the same region. Awesome. Just copy and paste that. That is fine. Now the question is, would I have to specify count ID in this setup? I don't think so.
No. It uses the count ID from configuration.
Awesome. I learned something new. But I do remember seeing this somewhere. I'm trying to remember now where I saw it.
Try npm run build.
Like that?
No. Space build.
Oh.
npm run space build. Yes.
Here we go. Oh, is this one of those situations where because this is a base config file, it's not automatically regenerated every time you run, for example, deploy?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Most likely. So try it again. Yeah.
Build. Deploy. Here we go.
No, it's the same
Okay.
thing. So
cannot retrieve value from context. Account region. So is there an environment here that I can go account like this? Yeah, it seems that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Grab the account ID. This just bugs me a little bit. I would expect to be able to do a lookup or something like this because you can't. This is not something you can commit. So
exactly.
But I'm happy to get it working first, and then we work backwards and say, okay, now how should we do it?
This error is very weird. So I'm basically trying to find out what the problem right now is.
Okay.
So,
okay, this is better. Web LB web target group. Okay, this might actually be what we were dealing with. Here we go. Web LB. Why is this confused? A construct with. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Here we go. It's this one. I don't have to add the target group because I'm just adding an extra listener. Because that one. Oh, sorry, my mistake. This is the issue. I need to point our new listener to it. Okay, cool. Now let's run. Boom. That'll fix the next part as well.
Okay.
So I'm now very, very curious to see how this is going to work. And so my understanding is, yeah, see, this makes a little bit more sense. Okay, so now with this build, and this is what always confuses me about the CDKs, I see more files up here. I see the .d TypeScript and the .js TypeScript. So my understanding of how...
You don't have to remove those. So those are generated every time you do npm run build. So when you do npm run build, all you can remove them. Yeah, just run npm run build again, and you will.
No, but here's the thing. I don't know. Okay, but what bugs me here is that why do I need to run npm run build if I was previously able to just do CDK deploy? That's the part I don't understand yet.
I think CDK deploy, since of some recent version, does that for you, right? I just am the old school type. I always run npm run build every time I want to deploy something. So.
Cool.
It might be,
but now the interesting,
might not be required. So there you go. Yeah.
But here's the thing: it did something interesting where it actually broke the build and the inability to run deploy. So
if you mix and match, apparently it doesn't work because what happens? See, okay, your stack is currently in update in progress.
Oh, you know what? I know why that happened because I was stupid and I pressed Control-C while I was trying to get that validation. So now, stack formation or cloud formation help. How do I make this thing stack action? Cancel update?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Now it's rolling back. Events. Create failed. Roll back in progress. Sorry, so just once again for the viewers, some background here. I am a Terraform person and I've spent quite a lot of time on that. Darko, on the other hand, is a CloudFormation person and a CDK person. But I want to learn CDK because it's fun me teasing him saying, oh, Terraform is so much better than X because I know it. I now need to know the other side so I can say, oh, this is so much better than Terraform because.
Well, yeah. So Also, I'm not a CDK expert. I just use it a bunch. So as you can see, if I was a CDK
Oh.
expert, I would be
Ooh.
hey, Cobus,
Whoa,
just
whoa, whoa,
fix
whoa,
that
whoa.
thing. What?
Oh, that. Oh, the fact that it says ECS there just happens to be some of the logical IDs, right? Okay, I was getting concerned that it's going to tear down our whole stack now.
No.
No, I'm just checking. Remember, this is me not knowing CloudFormation and all the ins and outs. So with Terraform, I can tell you when it's going to do some weird things like delete a resource and recreate it. But
Okay.
CloudFormation for me is still a bit new.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean,
I think while we
fun
wait
to
for this,
learn.
what you can do is, can you add me as a collaborator on that repo so I can actually go and push these changes at the end? Yes, I will collaborate with you on this project.
Okay, so one thing we also need to do, Cobus, is we need to create a joint account. Because we want to make sure to have a place where we can both work on a single account, right? So you hosted zone.
Yes.
Right?
Oh,
So that's something
yes.
we're gonna do after the fact. So
Yep.
we're gonna
Cool.
create
Don't worry
a
about that.
separate account. So where do I add a collaborator? In my language, a collaborator is a bad word. So invite a collaborator at the Cobus.
Cool. Let's quickly see how CloudFormation is doing. Is the delete still in progress? Update rollback complete.
So you can deploy again.
Cool. I still want to see what
collaborating.
this application. I want to see what this application listener certificate does, because I think that'll actually sort a lot of the stuff for us out. That's just my gut feel if I look at the name. Cool. We're creating, because at this point we still haven't specified the certificate for this load balancer.
No.
Oh, sorry, for this listener.
Yeah.
Oh no, we do. Sorry, we do over there. Apologies.
Okay. So we're just creating we're basically now, what should happen right now is, as far as I can see, is that this code should be, this piece of code should create a certificate, and it should validate the certificate as well for us, right?
Yes. So what we can see over here. So this one at the bottom is one that I used in a previous demo that was generated by Amplify, I believe.
No.
And it's creating the change set.
This
now runs for a little bit.
Sidekick. We should always have Mr. Sidekick here.
Oh, I'm actually definitely going to use him a bit more. It's a fun prop.
It's from a Dell laptop, right? A Dell monitor.
Hey, sorry, give me a second. My power just came back, so I'm just going to switch off the light.
I hope my lights don't go off, because I've been using them most of the day, and something has failed. Perfect. There's another subnet.
Cool. What is it? Ooh.
Go to CloudFormation. It's going to be easier to read. So I think we've broken something here when it comes to, because we added an account and a region. Something might have broken here, right? So
give me a second. Give me a second. Yeah, I think I know. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So would we go to CloudFormation and just tear everything down?
Exactly. So I just want to see the error. Go to CloudFormation. I want to see what error exactly has happened. Go to events, refresh it, and I want to see what exactly has caused this issue. So refresh. Did you refresh?
Yeah.
Okay. Scroll down. Okay. Scroll down a bit. Resource. Okay. CIDR conflicts with another subnet. So it's creating new things apparently. So I would just tear this all down and just bring it up from scratch.
And shall I do it from here, or what's the better way to do it?
It's easier. Just do it from here. Yeah. Just go and delete.
Okay.
Stuff.
So
because CDK in itself doesn't track any of this. So if you delete it from here, I mean, if you do CDK destroy, it basically runs this. So, but yeah.
Cool. Let's do that quickly. Now the question is, will we be able to respin this entire stack in the 17 minutes that's left? Let's see.
Yeah. There's no active thing that's being released here. There's nothing. We don't have to wait for anything to boot per se, besides ECS. So
NAT gateways.
Okay, NAT gateways, but again, it's still very short compared to just have.
Yeah, they're usually about a minute each.
We're not launching a Redshift cluster.
Yeah. That does take some time. Or a multi-AZ RDS cluster.
Yes. The
That does
longest
take about 5
confirmation
minutes.
template I've launched was there's a SAP HANA template available on AWS. It launches a full-on SAP HANA workload. I once did it for the lols because money, and it takes like 3 hours to launch. So,
Oh, wow. But I can bet you quite a lot of money that that is still much faster than any human doing it by hand.
I like. Have you ever deployed anything by hand? No matter how simple it is, how long does it take you, right? So even a simple web server to deploy it completely by
Yep.
hand.
Cool. Okay, so UVC is actually ticking along nicely. I'm just refreshing it now. You can see how the resources are being trashed one by one.
Yeah. Cloud formation, good.
Let us see. So this was a very fun session for me. I learned a whole bunch now so far.
I think that's kind of the thing that I said yesterday on stream or somewhere that the most I said the most time I'll learn is by trying to teach somebody else. So by explaining my learning process. So that is very much cool. But one of the things I wanted to point out is that yes, this also shows an important thing that we need to sync up our development practices. So both of us can work on the same product. It's not just Darko working on his, crummy laptop. It's just both of us have to be able to do these things. So Cobus makes a change. He pushes it back to the repo. Of course, commits it to the main branch immediately because that's how things are done. And then, so this is something that we're going to definitely expand as we build through this entire application. And we also need to make our application more complex.
Yep. But I mean, just for those that are watching us, we very specifically don't work on this application outside of the streaming hours, other than, let's say, admin type things like I did with spinning up the Cloud9 environment, because we want to do everything on stream so it's documented. So you can see every single time we hit a snag and how to fix it. Because often there are things that are cleaned up and you don't know about it.
Yeah, the last time I've seen this repo was last stream, literally. I've just cloned it to my new laptops. I have not played with it at all. So, did I even clone it? I didn't. Okay.
Go to the source, Neo.
Yeah, it's still deleting things. The only thing that might not be deleted, Cobus, is a bucket. So make sure to delete the bucket manually after it's done.
Cool.
And how's chat doing? How's everybody on chat?
Yeah, they've been very silent this episode. I think it's because you weren't here. I've asked the.
But you could have talked to Mr. Sidekick. He knows things.
I did, but he didn't want to answer me. I asked him how to fix this, and he just went like.
He went.
What will this bucket be called? I'm assuming that one.
There's a question from Viconia. What's the deal with Longbeard news? A lot of IT specialists have been doing lately. Longbeard news or just long beards in general? I don't know. I think it's a fashion thing. I've started growing my beard 4 or 5 years ago, and that's about it. But other than that, I just like it. It saves me effort from shaving.
So for me, there's a part of that it's less effort because shaving, but I already shaved my head, so that's not quite a good excuse. It's not a fashion thing. It's a believe me when I tell you I know something technical thing.
Oh,
people tend to believe people it's more.
You're like a wizard, right? You show I'm an IT wizard, long beard.
Exactly.
We just need to get gray beards, and we are gonna be the source of all information, right? That's fine.
Correct.
And Natasha is in Jira things.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
What is it taking so long? Let's see quickly. Deleting progress. Pipeline. What I get? It feels like something's stuck.
So there's a bunch of things that are being deleted in progress, and CloudFormation is not very straightforward when it is what is happening. So you have to kind of filter out to see what's currently. No, actually, you can go to resources. You can go to the resources tab. Scroll up.
Okay, and if I can get to it,
resources, and you'll see what's currently not deleted. So go up. I saw it. There is something deleted in progress still. It's a blue thing.
There we go. Delete skip.
That's repository is still being deleted for some. Oh, it's skipped. Okay, sorry.
Skipped. On pipeline artifact skip, that's fine. There's 3 buckets.
Then, if everything has deleted, there's
Delete in progress.
Oh, the service is going to be deleted. So maybe it takes a moment.
The ECS. Okay, it's probably it takes a while to confirm that it's scaled down because it does draining.
Yes.
We can actually go check. Well, this is if it was spun up in this region.
Follow us on the Twitters and the LinkedIns and the whatnots.
Yes. Wait. We have to, before we finish, I'm just going to go delete this by hand quickly to see if I can speed things up. I like to...
Have you noticed that each delete confirmation box is different? They ask different things.
Yes, I've said. There are 3 different ways to do it. Wait. I did promise a dad joke every session, and I did get one for this one as well. So here you go, your entertainment for the day.
Where is it?
It's on the screen.
What gender or national anthems country? Wow.
Yep. I will get one of these every episode.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. Delete in progress. Okay, we now see the LB security group. I think we have now made some progress because I kicked that ECS. Sorry, I really want to see if we can get this deployed before the end of the episode, which is in 10 minutes.
It's called
dun. Yeah. I know, but it's also called being in a rush.
That's true.
Delete in progress. We're deleting subnets. That's a good sign because subnets tend to go quick. Let's see. Okay, internet gateway. That's also usually fairly quick. Let's do this. Status. Can I do this?
Nope.
Oh, this isn't one of those. Okay. Once again, the interfaces are different.
Yeah, I would say that
an attribute aware.
Yeah, search on Amazon services is sometimes can be better.
Delete, skipped. Cool. I think there we go. It's been deleted, so now cleanup. We said we need to go to
S3 bucket and
S3. Yeah. Let's do that and ECR. Boom. Close that. S3. CDK. Okay, so I can just delete these both, I believe. Delete. So I'm going to tell me that it wants to... Oh, okay. I'm definitely not typing out this bucket name. As Darko said, the deletes differ. It's probably going to complain that it's... Oh. It was empty. This one is probably going to be not empty, but that's fine. We have got the magic over here. Boom, boom, boom. Paste that in. There we go. Buckets are gone. We can do that. ECR. This is the... Now you can actually see the demo that I did where I named my repo very, very accurately.
Some name.
Cool. We are good to go. So now we just go the other way again and we say, boom, and see where we get. So we have 8 minutes for this to finish. Cool. Let's quickly think. What are we going to do once we have this up and running? Ooh.
No bucket
name that. Oh, do I have to do the bootstrapping again?
Yes. So you cannot delete the bucket of that bucket. So you don't have to own the account. You don't have to. Okay, that's fine. You can define an account as well, but you can just do CDK bootstrap. It's gonna pick up the configuration from your CLI. So.
Okay. Bonk. Dunk. I love the fact that they put emojis in all the text output. I used to do that with my build jobs.
Did I install emojis on a laptop? No BDK in account is
bootstrap. Let's hit it. Oh, by the way, I did figure out how to do music, but I haven't had time. We can add a plugin, NDI plugin to VLC, add that as an audio input instead of a mic to Mr. Sidekick. And I'll try and do that for next week.
And then Mr. Sidekick will keep on singing. Okay. No changes. Interesting.
Boom, 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 boom,
Do you have the
boom,
same account
boom.
ID? Do you have the same account ID on the go to bin? I'm kind of concerned that this is not the same account ID.
It is.
It is.
So
Remove
I
that
am
account ID.
going
Remove that account ID. I would say that we can remove that thing.
from here.
Yeah, just comment it out.
Mm,
By the way, it's also okay to leave a comma at the end.
no, it's not. So I saw the best. See. Put that back. Oh well. Let's see. Cool. I will definitely want to go dig into this because I don't fully unfollow this yet, but
Okay.
let's see.
So this is a cliffhanger where we don't know why this doesn't work. One of the things we were going to promise is that we're going to try to figure out why it doesn't work, and we're going to explain why it didn't work and what did we make bad. So,
but
because
I have got a sneaky suspicion it is able to brute force it this way.
But yeah, okay.
I hear you. I want to test this. Because remember, if you do, it thinks the bucket exists, and I think that might be the problem because it kept saying.
Do you have multiple profiles on your CLI here, or no?
Very, very likely. I tend to do very funky things. Let's see. I've got a sneaky suspicion. So when you run that Bootstrap, doesn't that also run its own CDK? Its own CloudFormation. And
Yes.
when we rebootstrap, it doesn't rerun that necessarily. So it doesn't know that the resource is gone.
Okay, could be.
That's my assumption here.
So you deleted the bucket manually.
Yes, there we go. The CDK toolkit. There we go. Resources.
That's the problem.
Yes.
So that's the problem. So you have not deleted the template. You have just deleted the bucket. Okay.
Yes.
Don't delete bootstrapping buckets because all the things are there. So.
Yes, I was not paying attention. But now I brute forced it. So now let us see. We have got 4 minutes left. Will we finish in time? Dun, dun, dun. Or next week on Bean Streaming.
Next week on Bean Streaming, watch Cobus struggle with certificate management. Again. And watch Darko laugh out at Mr. Sidekick. And Mr. Sidekick has a dead stare at us all the time, laughing, smirking that we do not know how to write proper TypeScript. But
yep. I'm definitely going to make Mr. Sidekick a little bit more interesting. I've got a couple of conference lanyard over here, so I think he needs one of those. And I'll get him some backgrounds. I'll maybe make some like mini posters because he's quite close to the wall. So it's quite funny. I've got my little webcam that I normally use for my laptop for video conferencing on a mini tripod. So it's a mini tripod with a mini camera in front of the Mr. Sidekick. So he needs mini posters. Yes. Actually, you know what I can do so long? Let's take in a friend or two. Let's see. What does the frame look like? Okay. Let's see. There we go. Now Mr. Sidekick isn't a you can't really see it, but
we can see a bit of arms on top.
Yeah. It's like Isabel in yesterday's session when she went like this to look over the banner at the bottom. Yeah, that almost broke me for like minutes. Okay, we are still building. Let's see. Let's go to CloudFormation over here. Cool, resources. Let's refresh. Where are we at the moment? It's on the certificate request store. That is great news. Let's see what's going on here. Because this is the part that I want to see what's happening. Cool. Right. It is pending validation. Pending validation. It wants to do this with that. Now, my money.
It has been written. So you can see that the success has been written. So the CDK does that for you, but it takes a bit of time.
Yeah, sometimes I've been lucky with it instantaneously, but I've been like sometimes having to wait like a minute or two. But this could potentially be our cliffhanger then for next time on Bean Streaming.
Join us next time on Bean Streaming, where we finally validate our certificate automatically through DNS. Yeah. Cool. I guess this is it for today. I guess next time we'll continue on doing Continuing the certificate, one thing Cobus and I will try to do definitely is have a common account we can work with.
Yeah.
So basically we can do, because certificates come into play right now, at least we'll try to import an existing, here's the thing. If my account has permissions to work with Cobus's Route 53, I can also do that. So that's also a possibility. But we'll try to figure this out.
I just had a very, very, very fun idea that I will share with you once we stop streaming now, which I think can make this even more fun. You'll have to join us next week to get that one.
Yes.
You see, we have to put these hooks in, otherwise they won't come back.
Next time is Monday, 11 a.m. Central European time or South African Summer time. Join us next week at 11. Next week, Monday. It works. Haha.
It's still busy over here. Yes. But this still won't work. We'll have to wait for next week in any case because we don't have a DNS record yet.
Yes, exactly. So next week, join us to make this work, and we'll talk about some new ideas Cobus has, and I don't know what.
I'm not very curious to go play with this, but I won't yet because I don't want to spoil the fun for next week. Yes, awesome. Cool. So thanks again for joining us today. We will see you on Monday, hopefully, and then we will see if we can get this custom DNS working along with the SSL certificate.
We have a comment here that we could use a schedule command. You're right. We could do that definitely. So we'll check to get that implemented. But yes, in general, the schedule is every Monday and every Friday at 11 a.m. Central European time or South African summertime, center time. Something.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
It just finished. Awesome. Cool. Okay. Adios and see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.